I requested that audit. So it wasn't an initiative of the audit chamber. I requested that audit. So I see a lot of comments on the audit chamber and the audit and so forth, as if, for example, that the government didn't want it to happen. No, but I requested that audit. It wasn't an initiative of the audit chamber. So I just want to be clear on that. And in addition to that, it wasn't just an audit for government. And my request was to audit for government and all government-owned entities and their rentals. So there are other entities that also have assets, that also have real estate. So you also want to look into that also, all right? So, and also because there were questions coming to me about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, in regards to rent and other entities renting and so forth. And as a minister, I didn't want to, have an opinion on it. I want to have like a factual advice on this. So that's why we went in and requested the audit chamber to give this, to do this audit, so that with that basis now we could look and see how we could tackle these things. There were things, say, for example, in government that I also had my concerns on in regards to rent and so forth, which we also started to address. A good example, for example, government, for example, would rent a building, but without an appraisal report, or purchase a building sometimes without an appraisal report. But I said more into rent, right? So when we came in, I said, I spoke to the Prime Minister about this also, that the fact that we can't just look at the building and say, okay, this building is 2,000, the other building is 2,000, let's say 1,005, that one is cheaper, so we're gonna take that one, all right? We have to look at per square meter what we renting, right? So these policies were not in place. And as the Minister just mentioned just now, from the outside, it looks like as if all these things are happening and government isn't doing anything about it. And yes, when we come in and make these changes, it makes some individuals or even entities uncomfortable because they were used to just collecting a certain amount of money without a just reason, right? So having this audit actually now gives me even another tool to put pressure on getting the proper policies in place and making sure that these things get done properly. And not only by government. I also want to see it at the government-owned entities. And I'm happy to hear at least one or two entities that have, since this audit started, looked into their rent and so forth and their policies and make sure that their policies are properly being implemented when it comes to their